Alright, hello everybody! Hello, welcome to the live stream. Lewis was sitting right here like a minute ago, and then she left me as soon as we started streaming. Hello everyone, trans rights. I saw some people are coming over from Abby's stream. That's so exciting. What a thing to wake up to. Hello everyone, thank you. If I'm looking off into this distance, it's because I'm looking at you guys' comments. Hello. Oh my goodness. First, I do need to show off this t-shirt that I got from the official Gumby website. Friends with Benefits. Which, you know, I don't work for them. It's not sponsored. But I can't believe that they have this on their website, so I did buy it. Hello everyone. Yeah, this shirt's pretty great. I feel pretty great about it. Hello. Welcome everybody. Yeah, so we're just gonna be reading some questions. I got a ton on Instagram. We got a ton from my patrons. Is May my middle name? It is. Yes, I will also be reading questions on here, but yeah, that is my full name. It's my great grandmother's name was May, so that's who I'm named after. And both of my grandmothers, one of them is Marge and the other one was Margaret, so it's kind of scrunched it together. Yeah, great. Thank you. It's a pretty good shirt. Someone said turn up the volume.
I just did.
Okay.
It'll take them a second to hear it.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Audio's low. Great. Okay, cool. I have this handy lip gloss just in case my lips get chapped. Okay, why don't we go ahead and start? I'm going to start with patron questions. Oh, and also, before we start, she likes Gumby, damn it. Actually, also, we have a cat toy Gumby sitting around somewhere. Actually, I think one of my cats is hugging it right now. Hi, kitty.
Just turn it up again.
Okay. Actually, they probably dragged it off into their other cat house, so forgive me, but... Okay, cool. So, yeah, so before we start, I just want to shout out, because I hardly ever plug my things. So I'm doing a show called SSCC with Jamie Loftus, who is one of my friends, and also just a fantastic person and comedian and writer and podcaster. Here he is. Here he is, my best friend. Yes, so we're really proud about that show. It's really exciting. We just have the first episode up, but we will be releasing more with some special guests, with some fun through storylines, and you know, it's just it's a fun show. So there's that. What else? My podcast. I do have a podcast with my friend Adam from Cracked, which, if you don't know what that was a place that I first started working on the internet. But yes, Adam is also one of my dear friends. It's called I'll Show You Mine If You Show Me Yours, where we basically pick a topic, like, or actually our patrons pick the topics, and then we both show each other our, it's like, what's your family movie? What's your, what's the album that changed your life? Very pivotal moments, and then we both share our piece of media that fits it. So, yeah, Jamie! Jamie's in the chat! Jamie's in the chat, everyone. Hi, Jamie. Also, please, everyone, go listen to Jamie Loftus's Lolita pod, available wherever you get your podcasts. It is a fantastic deep dive into Nabokov's work, and it covers everything. So if you ever had a question about Lolita, this would be a great podcast to listen to. And even if you haven't, you'll probably learn a lot. So let me see if there's anything else I need to say. That's pretty much it. I think those are the things happening right now. Yes, Lolita Pod is very good. Hello. Okay, so we're gonna start with patron questions. I will pull them up. Bap. Netflix, what did you think of Blown Away? I really hate that apps will just email you for no reason. There's no reason for Netflix to be emailing me. Get out of here. Where in the world would you love to travel? Oh man, my favorite place to be abroad is in Ireland. I've been twice. Adam's here. Hello. Are either the cats willing to help with rent? It's hard in this economy. Yes, Adam, they both pay rent. You know that. They mostly just pay in Casey's and Scratchies. Maggie, what are your feelings on David Lynch's work? I at my core, I am just a simple film bro. No, I love David Lynch. So his stuff is great. And I don't need his stuff to be anything but his stuff. So I guess that's my answer. But yeah, I do really like his work. Lost Highway is probably my favorite, at least at the moment. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna start with some patron questions. Chris Combs asked, first of all, congrats. Now to a serious question. I guess I can do this so I don't need to keep looking at the camera. As we've occasionally seen boxes for classic LucasArts games on your shelf, they are over there, yes. Which are your favorites? What do you find so endearing that they remain with you after all these years? Well, I do have to be honest that the actual boxes are from my partner, Will. Will and I have a slight age gap, so that was more when Will was growing up. I came in I would sit in my dad's lap and watch him play Doom. That was some of my first video game memories. I loved watching my dad play Doom. It was so fun. And King's Quest. I would watch my brother and my dad play that together. But since Will and I have been together, I've watched many a playthrough of many of the LucasArts film games. And I think they're really funny and weird. But also are kind of like a precursor to the type of video games that I like. I like story-driven, point-click stuff. So that's really fun. I don't know if I have a favorite other than... Oh. I think we got a package. Will's gonna go grab the package. Yeah, so probably the Indiana Jones one, but only because that one's so funny and weird. That game is really weird. Oh, you know what? It might be our kitchen towels. How about some kitchen towels? Okay, great. Well, that's great. Congrats. This is the second question. My questions are, will there be more Lord of the Rings content? And do you plan to collab with fellow YouTube essayists on your channel? Thanks a lot for everything you do. Much love from France. Oh, oui. France is actually a place, to answer the question earlier, whether I like to travel. I would like to see France. I have been to Ireland twice. I love Ireland so much. Shout out to anyone who lives in Ireland. The next place I would like to go... probably Hawaii, Morocco, Iceland. Those are the places I would love to travel to at some point. Those are them. I wanted to go to Morocco for a very long time. Okay, great. To answer the question that I was asked, will there be more Lord of the Rings content? Nothing is in the works currently. That was my Lord of the Rings film for the time being. Oh, Shane's from Ireland. You're in Ireland. Well, hello from over here in California. I love Ireland so much. It's my favorite place to visit. And I love staying there for long stretches. Everyone who lives in Ireland is great. Okay. Do I plan to collaborate with fellow YouTube essayists on my channel? Yes, I do. I really like collaborating with other essayists. I think it just brings another perspective. My Films and Conversations series is both about, like two films and, how they speak to one another. But I do also like having guests on that, I guess, series. Yeah, it's fun to work with other people. It's fun to make an excuse to work with other people. YouTubing can be very lonely, so that's a nice way to switch it up and stay connected with people. And everyone who, does these video essays are so, smart and kind and fun, so. What belongs to you but gets used by everyone else more than you is a question from the chat, from King. What's mine but Will uses? What do you use of mine? I guess I decorate the house, so it's like if someone is enjoying the way that the apartment looks, it's my doing. I think with the help of the cats, this Lewis is trying to make a home under the camera right now. Okay. Next question from Chaz Kaufman. You have an excellent ability to find new, more feminist and LGBTQIA interpretations of very male-centric film industry. Given how Hollywood seems to want to repeatedly revive their IPs, is there an older franchise that you'd want to see that has the potential to be reinterpreted this way? Current She-Ra remake comes to mind. She-Ra was great. What would you personally want to make if you were a showrunner? What are some more obscure authors, friends, and content creators? I'll come back to the shouting out more friends because I should take a moment to get some names together. But what would I like to see? That's an interesting question. Sorry, I missed your Gilliam Meyer? Did I beef it? Feel free to tell me. Gilliam Meyer. You can feel free to to pop in a pronunciation. What franchise? The thing, I haven't really thought much about it. But I used to love Inspector Gadget growing up. So Kids and Gadgets. I loved Penny. She was so smart. I think there's something there that could be mine. Really, the thing is, old stuff is great, but more than anything, I'd rather see new stuff, like 100% of the time. Even if something old turns out to be really great, for the most part, I'd rather see something new. But that is me. Okay, that was nice. Okay, Gilliam, I didn't make a fool of myself. Inspector Gadget slapped. Penny was the greatest. I know. Yeah, I really liked it. I think that could be easily rebooted. But yeah, for the most part, I would much rather see new stuff. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Robin. Okay. Let's move on to Dave Blanchard. What film does not pass the Bechdel cast? The Bechdel test. Would you most like to rewrite, reshoot, and how would you advise writer-directors to avoid a failing Bechdel grade? Interesting. So many movies don't pass the Bechdel cast. Most of them don't. You know, I'm not a again with like remaking movies. I feel like that turns into a tricky area because it's like I love directors, and so I always like want to respect people's work. So like going back and changing things, I think is like a thing that I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about. Even when I'm reviewing, I don't really necessarily want anything to change. Like I'm glad the movie is the way it is. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it the way I'm talking about it. If that makes sense. Kitty. Lewis left me earlier. Now she's gonna leave me again. So I don't know if although, you know, like all the original Disney animation movies, it'd be kind of dope if like a couple of them pass the Bechdel test. But you know, so I guess that's my stance. I guess I don't really care if a movie doesn't pass it. But I think the answer to how do you have more movies that pass it is just hiring more female writers and directors. They are going to be writing things that, you know, resonate with them. And as a living, breathing human person who probably identifies as a woman, they'll, you know, probably have a better perspective on how to craft stories. So, you know, well, that's my take on that. Patrick Gallagher, what is the worst film you've seen that you'll defend? Maybe not a film generally considered bad that you think is secretly good, but that you agree is bad but still advocate for. Thank you for the $5, Chandler Harrell. Congrats on subs. I had a class taught by one of your colleagues. Kind of surreal. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's cool. Kind of want to know who it is, but you don't need to rat on them if you don't want to. But that's pretty tight. I love when people message me about using my work in their academic endeavors. That's pretty cool. Okay, so it's a movie that's not a movie that is objectively bad, that is famously bad. I can't stop writing. Is a Birdemic, which is such a bad movie for all the fun bad reasons. However, it is one of the examples of like an environmental movie. Like the message is technically supposed to be like environmental cautionary tale. It fails on a multiple variety of levels, but for that endeavor alone, I can respect it. And it's just a funny movie, you know, which brings so much joy to me. And yeah, that's kind of a film that I would pop on in the background basically whenever and be happy about it. So that is one of the worst movies that I've ever seen that I would still like recommend, you know, watching with a group of friends. Val Martins. I know certain films are a bit much, and you just got done with some of them, but are you ever thinking of doing a video on Batman v Superman? In terms of movies, nothing has a hold on me quite like that. It's an everything bagel made by Amelia Bedelia. You can tell there's a bit of heart behind it by someone who kind of understands how to shoot movies, but has trouble with things like theme and motivation. That's funny, Val. I'm not planning on doing any more Zack Snyder videos at the moment. And we touched on Batman v Superman a little bit in the last one, as far as like, you know, the thematic through lines of his work. But yeah, it's so interesting, yeah, to watch. Yeah, there's so many things and people behind a movie, and so many, you know, so much heart and thought goes into it that, you know, I don't know. I just feel like it is important to talk about. So I am glad that I did that series. Yeah. So, no. Is my long answer to that question. Sorry. I'm not ruling it out, but I don't want to. Should Hollywood be allowed to make a movie about the Trump presidency? No. I mean, maybe like years from now. But I don't know. But, you know, and it would have to be an angle. I like straight biopics and things like that just fall so flat for me usually, because it's like, you know, especially with something like this, I feel like you really have to get across just like how enormous what a terribly enormous impact it has made. So how do you make a movie and not trivialize it, I think would be a really central question for the future, not for now. Brian Ganniger, how are you doing with everything in SoCal and with adapting to a new way of delivering content? It's been seamless and amazing from our perspective, but our hearts are with y'all. This is like a soft way of saying, are you going bananas in your apartment? And the answer is yes. Yeah. I think we're finally starting to get vaccine rollouts, which is great. But, you know, everyone should be somewhat aware of their local government politics, and boy howdy has our local government been failing us on a massive scale. I'm gonna say thank you to some what do they call these, super chats? What is it, super chats? Great. So Autosol, thank you so much. I don't really have a question. Hello from Norway. Hello from Norway. Will's brother's wife is from Norway, so they go there every other year. That's my connection to Norway. Hello, Duval, thank you so much. Would you consider tackling some, if not all, of the Godzilla franchise? I would love to hear your input on the longest running cinematic franchise. I do not currently have any plans to talk about Godzilla. I do love Godzilla. But also, I had a friend who does a series on Godzilla. I'm going to pull up their clips. It's Brian T. Alexander, and they message me. I think they just put up a new video, so once I find the link, I'll pop it in the chat. But yeah, they do great videos about Godzilla that kind of go through the whole history. So I can recommend those. But no, I don't have any plans to do it now, but I won't rule it out. I love Godzilla. Oh, thank you, Robin. This is the money is for the cats. They should split it evenly. They will rob you blind, so beware of how much you give them. Just saying. Okay, I did answer that. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Samuel Mashek, you deserve each and every one of those subscribers some more. Thank you. As for a suggestion, if the recent Watch TV series seems a bit interesting to you, would glad to hear your thoughts on it. I actually haven't finished it yet, so I usually don't like commenting on things that I haven't finished fully, because it's like I want to give them their chance to, So I don't want to say too much about it. Other than I think we talked about it a little bit in the Zack Snyder video. So that's all I have for that. Sorry. I need to be better at finishing TV shows. That's really, if I have one flaw, it's that I start a lot of TV shows. It's hard for me to finish them all. Oh no, I didn't want to learn about Honda today. Okay, next question by Connor Wilson. I've always been extremely impressed with how well researched and sourced your work is. So my question to someone who adores studying media would be, what is the research process like once you got an idea for a video? Yeah, the research process is fun. It's one of my favorite processes. If I didn't like doing research, I would not be doing this for a job, really, I'm sure. But yeah, I guess to me it kind of feels like wading into water. Like, when you first get your toe wet, that's like your idea. Maybe it's like from a movie we watched, or just a movie that I love that I think would be fun to talk about. Yeah, so like that's what, when I have an idea, and then like, for the next couple days or whatever, I'll just do like really wide research, as in like, has anyone who, read a bunch of reviews of the movies, or movie that I'm thinking of. If I haven't seen the movie, I'd watch it, but if I have seen the movie, I'll watch it again just to make sure that what I thought was interesting is still interesting. Reading, finding interviews, so basically just reading, throwing like a wide net, just so, I have like a broad idea of what I want to talk about. And then once I've done enough reading, kind of just like form an opinion that I want to center a video essay around. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Casting a wide net, I would say, is pretty helpful, I guess, with any research. But yeah, you can always decide later that it wasn't helpful, but if you never saw it in the first place, then, you know, egg on my face, which has definitely happened before. This is from learning experience. So yeah, and then the next part comes writing. But Richard Copeland says, has anyone stated that you resemble actress Allison Williams before, or am I for the first to do so? Many people have compared me to many other people. And so to that I will say, I am only myself. Kidding. Thank you. Okay. Definitely not Guillermo del Toro, which is very suspicious. If you are Guillermo, you can tell me. Given your recent Snyder series, what can we expect thematically from the Justice League Snyder Cut? You can expect 4 hours. I think that's basically what you can expect. There will be a lot of dramatic, slow moments. There will be moments of just of a cacophony of images that mean so much to you personally. And it will be that for 4 hours. And I think I speak for all of us when I say, can't wait to download it from somewhere else. Okay. Yoa Fine says, who are your 5 favorite working filmmakers today? Oh man, that is a really hard question that I should have researched before. I mean, man, there's some great filmmakers working. I love so many filmmakers that are working today. It's really hard to narrow down. I get really excited by filmmakers, and a lot of filmmakers have their start in horror. So, I watch a lot of horror to fall in love with new directors. So, I guess that's my like broad answer. I should have written down some names. But like that's where I'm really excited for Nia DaCosta and her Candyman. So yeah, I guess that's. I don't really know if that's not really answering your question, but my answer is that watch a lot of low budget horror, and you will find your new favorite directors coming up. Okay, Cosmic P says, will there be more short films like Change? Yes, I would love to do more. The idea of having these film and conversation series is that those videos I can put out a little bit faster just because I'm on camera less. Oh yes, Amy Simons she is one of my favorite. I loved the first season of The Girlfriend Experience. If you haven't seen that, highly recommend. It's fantastic. I love Soderbergh a lot. Yeah. I love his work. I love his work with actors. I love the performances that he gets from his actors. If I were to work with anyone, that would be my favorite person to work with. But back to the question from Cosmic. Yes. I would love to do more like that. I love to incorporate like that kind of style into some bigger essays. So yeah, the films of conversation are slightly easier to make, so I can make them slightly quicker. Which has been one of, running a YouTube channel is hard, and it's hard to balance like the things you want to do creatively with the like reality of like, and for a very long time I didn't care so much about getting videos out, and I still don't care as much. I care much more about like the content rather than the speed yada. But it also took me longer to get to 100K than a lot of other people. So that's like, the trade-off that you give. So, but anyways, all to say that I am working on a big video for this year that I think will incorporate a lot of stuff like that. So, we'll see. I'm just trying to do my best. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. I was recommended your take on Fight Club, and it was an interpretation I had not seen before. I enjoy the tone of your videos. Thank you for your work. Aw, thank you. I'm glad you like. Thank you so much. Okay, so Hi, the Nine File. Matt T asks question: what is your opinion on movies that are not meant to be enjoyed? Oh man, that's how I feel about like so many things I saw in film school. Godard probably is like the gut reaction of like he makes movies that are not supposed to be enjoyable, and it's like you're right, I don't enjoy them. So like you won, Mr. Godard, you won. Congrats. But I like that they are made. I think that there should be movies that aren't meant to be enjoyed. A lot of movies that I like are movies that are not made with the intention of being, enjoyed. If that's and it's like what one person's gonna find enjoying, another person will not. So there's that as well. But yeah, I'm all for that. I love yeah, anything that goes against grain, experimental film, Ninja Waffle says, hi Maggie, your videos got me through grad school. Thanks. My next question is, what movie started your love of movies? Aw, well, I'm so glad they got you through grad school. Congratulations on grad school. Man, I have always loved movies. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just always have. I always liked escapism and things. And when I was little, I had like all my notebooks that I would write in every day. And like, yeah, a lot of like imagination work, with my friends and stuff. I did a lot of like imaginary games playing up. And I don't know, something about film just from very early on was like, yes. Sometimes you can't explain it. So there you go. That's the non-answer to your question. Bailey Ciplia says, congrats, so happy for you, and clearly your hard work is paying off. Thank you. What does your creative process typically look like? Just how do you pick your content to make your videos about? So I slightly answered this before, but it usually just comes from watching movies. I watch a lot. We watch a lot. I would probably watch a movie a day. Yeah, and sometimes more than so. It probably averages that to a movie a day. Across like every genre. So, yeah, I think watching a lot, it just becomes easy to think of topics that I want to talk about. So that's how I get inspiration, just from watching. And then as far as the creative process, yeah, like the waiting where I do a lot of research, read other people's opinions and stuff before really thinking about the exact like theme or topic that I want to cover. And then a script that I write, my partner and I rewrite it, read it out loud, record, shoot, and then upload it, and hope you guys like it. That's pretty much it. Ah, Princess, hello. Princess Weeks is awesome. I assume if you guys are in this chat, then you are subscribed to Princess Weeks. But if you're not, please do. Her redemption video, if you guys haven't seen it yet. Aces. And also really important, man. Yeah. It's a really important thing to talk about, and especially important, all my friends who are writers know or watch these video essays, and I think it's important because as a writer, when you're in it, you don't really think about TV as like a macro all of the time. And yeah, it's just interesting to see the ways that we continually tell stories, and what we can do to add a little something new. Bugsybee says, I'm glad to see your work clicking with so many folks. It's exactly the type of socially conscious film theory I live for. Aw, thank you. My question for the stream is, if you could have anyone to do a guest voice in one of your videos, who would it be, and what would they read? That's such a good question. I don't know. Who would I want? I don't know. I don't know. I really like, there's a couple videos I have coming up where I, interview directors, and things like that, which are really exciting. So I guess I'd like to pull in like an actual, like VO artist, voiceover artist, or a singer or an actress, someone just outside of the, I like bringing people together from different bubbles. So I guess that's my, again, vague answer. It'd probably be Janelle Monáe, and I'd probably just have her read some of her own work because it's beautiful. And Matthew Zeidman says, congratulations on reaching 100K. Thank you. If you had to recommend one episode of SpongeBob to someone who's never watched the show before, which would it be and why? Probably pizza delivery. I mean, every episode on the first 2 seasons is gold, and a couple other in the later seasons. But that's really the one that it's like, it's the most waiting for Godot kind of feel going on, which, yeah. Chris Scott, do you have any plans to collab with Cody, Katie Swaim, or any of the Cracked folk? Yeah, well, Swaim and Abe own Small Beans, which is, stroking myself with Gumby. Small Beans owns the, podcast, platform that Adam and I have our podcast on, so we see them all the time. Cody and Katie are fantastic. I have Cody on for guest voices a lot. Katie's great. We were just swapping book recommendations. So yeah, I'd love to have Katie on because I almost had her do a voice for past video, and then something happened. Either we didn't need that quote anymore. But yeah, I'd like to have Katie on. Thank you so much, QBNDT. Thank you so much. How do you feel about incidental representation, annihilation, versus representation that calls attention to itself? I think they're both important. I absolutely agree. I think both kinds are very important. There should be representation that has not, is just the way it is because that is how reality is, and everyone is so different that we should be striving to put that on screen, whether or not it has to do with the story at play. But then on the flip side, I think it's also important to talk about why we are at this point where we need to make an effort to show diversity because we have a history of white supremacy. And so yeah, they're both super important, and they're both fun, and they should both be utilized as often as possible. Thank you, Henry Kathman. Quick Q, what is your favorite song off Dirty Computer? I like them all. The one that I listen to the most is probably Juice. I got the Juice just because I think that one's fun. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I like the whole album as a concept album. I like the whole thing. Okay, so that was all of the questions from patrons. So I'm gonna switch to Instagram questions. Who did T.S. Eliot's voice in your Cats video? 2 people did. We split them between Cody and Big Joel Henry, and they were both fantastic. I'm glad I let them both do it. Cool. Hello. Ricky Glover asked, what type of music in general do you like? Rap, 60s, 70s pop, avant-garde metal, queer score. A lot of classic rock. I listen to a lot of classic rock, actually. I go through phases where, I am obsessed with something for a while, and that kind of rolls in and out. But yeah, I've always loved classic rock, so that's a pretty solid staple. And new stuff. Aw, thank you so much, Princess. What TV show do you think is underrated? And if that was asked already, which Tom Hooper movie would you erase from the timeline? Fantastic Oceans. Aw, my friend Michael Ferguson. Thank you, Michael. Michael's my dear buddy from college who was asking the very important question, what are my thoughts on Pompeii? for he's asking that because I have made him watch it so many times. So first, sorry, to answer Princess. TV show you think is underrated? I did mention this earlier, but the first season of The Girlfriend Experience is so good. And I only bring that up because I've never heard anyone talk about it. And each season is separate, so the second season didn't have anything to do with the first season. And I just, yeah, that first season was great. It was a really interesting, like, examination on a lot of things. So I loved it. So I would say it's underrated only because I haven't seen people talk about it. Which Tom Cruise movie would you erase from a timeline? I'm gonna look at his filmography. I mean, we all know the one I'm thinking of, but I don't think that that's the one that I want it to be because I'm glad that that exists. Probably the Danish Girl. That's the one I would erase out of existence. I would replace it with, you know, let's give it to someone who is an actual trans director and crew, and let them do with it what they will. That's probably the one I would forge from the earth, and I would keep Cats over that one. So that's my answer. Okay, I'm switching. Okay, so Michael asked me what's my thoughts on Pompeii, and my thoughts on Pompeii is that it's the best movie that's ever been made, and no one will ever top it. Thank you so much. Gumby's very cool. Gumby's pretty cool. I don't know, guys. Replace Danish Girl with Cats 2. Could not agree more. The following is a test. Thank you so much for the $10. I have a little money for once. Aw, and I can actually get you to celebrate 100K. Congrats, you're the best. Aw, man, thank you so much. Aw, man, you know, I just got the correct answer. I know. I've actually never seen The Danish Girl, and I never will. So that's my. I've seen all of his other movies, and I'll just never watch it. That is the one that once I, you know, I'm not, yeah. Oh man. Oh, but to your point about having money for once, I just got paid for a commercial I did, and oh boy, new world. Got some advice for aspiring media YouTubers. I'm running for Danny Boyd and hoping to grow soon. Aw, that's congratulations. But my opinion is that there can never be enough. And with your channel, it should just Michael says that irrefutable opinions, but you know it's true. Yeah, my only advice is just find out what you like talking about, because it's going to be valuable to the discourse. That's like the discourse. What I really mean is that, you know, all criticism is important. And if it's something that you're passionate about, then it probably means that you have something to add to the conversation that is sorely needed. So, yeah, just do whatever you want to do. Do what interests you, because, and that, I mean, that's a great thing about movies and why I love movies and why, you know, it brings people together at its best of times. So, yeah. So if you are talking about what you like, there will be other people who will respond to that. So that's my only advice. Matthew Phillips, how did you and Jamie come up with the idea for SSCC? That is a great question. I actually kind of don't remember. Do you remember how we...
You just wanted to do something together.
Yeah, it definitely grew from that. Jamie and I wanted to do something together. That's really where it started. I do not remember exactly when the idea... I do remember it moving very quickly. Like, once we thought of the idea, we already had, like, you know, a lot of the world fleshed out from the get-go. So, yes, that was me on Lolita Pod. I did some VO for James. But yeah, so I am really excited about SSCC. I'm excited to bring more to you guys. So I'm gonna criticize my video, responding to my criticism of my video. That's... Sometimes you feel the urge to reply to yourself in that manner as a creator, I will tell you what. Okay, I took screenshots of the questions from from Insta. Hello, I've been watching you since Cracked. Aw, happy to see you thriving here. Aw. Oh boy, reminisce. What do you want to do when COVID is over? What a great question, Dave. So many things. I miss my friends so much. Yeah, I miss my friends a lot. Hanging with my friends. That's all I want to do. That is all I want to do. I don't even really want to talk so much. I mostly just want to like sit in the corner and be surrounded by my friends. So, I cannot wait. I instantly recommended sscc to my MST3K loving friend. Yes, yeah, when we were writing it, one of the things that gave us the courage to believe it could work was like, you know, it's in that type of wheelhouse. Different enough, but also, you know, simplified. Nicole is also my dear friend. Congrats! You might have already answered this, but any predictions for Oscar noms this year? Oh, man. I haven't really seen a lot of the movies that will be nominated, actually. That is something that I need to do before the end of the year, which I know you guys do. My friends Nicole and Fergie watch all the movies that are going to be nominated at the end of the year, more for Oscars. Probably the ones that just everyone has been talking about. But yeah, I haven't seen... What was the one that just came out? Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm expecting and hoping that to do really well. That's the one I'm putting. I pick one to root for every year, and that's the one I'm choosing to root for. Robin Summer, thank you so much. Congrats on the 101K. What was one poorly received film that you liked, and one well received that you didn't? I'm trying to think of a well received movie that I didn't like. I don't know how Birds of Prey was received. I loved it. I loved Birds of Prey. I didn't read any reviews on it, except for some from women. But yeah, Birds of Prey might have been 2019. I'll think on that. Daniel, thank you so much. Congrats. What are your thoughts on the lack of healthy masculinity on movies over the satire? Yeah. Oh, cheers from Costa Rica. Hello. I think you hit the nail on the head, and maybe that's the thing that I like should have stated in the Zack Snyder series, but sometimes I think things are obvious, but then they're not, which is, you know, but yeah, that's really the point of it, is that instead of it's a satire on all the terrible things that we know about it, but we're not gonna do anything to present to you another. It just like, yeah. You know, it just becomes like a salad of, you know, yeah. I definitely think we need as much positive example as critiquing of. Oh, here we go. Finally, she's playing on me. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Love your work. Keep going. Aw. Lewis just came over to tell me that. Aw, thank you so much. Yeah, Birds of Prey was freaking great. It was great. Yeah, we definitely need more healthy masculinity. Yeah, I was reading it was like a fantasy fiction novel, and it was written in a way that it was like, because it was so removed from this, you know, it's like a different world and yada yada. There's no like written in misogyny, you know, there's like no assumed things about genders, and it was so fun to read because having an example of what it is, what reality is like when you don't have that, is just as important as critiquing it. You know, just because you also can't see what you're striving for if there aren't examples of that. So, you know. Yeah, Fergie's like, Lewis is not pleased that he isn't in the spotlight. Yeah, she's pissed. Okay, so these are questions from Instagram. Would you possibly make a movie about non-conventional storytelling? You know, and Instagram is weird because they cut off some of these questions before the end. So if I trail off, it's because it's because it's being covered by this mechanic. Agent Dale Cooper as a positive example. Oh yeah, the third. There's a lot to look at in masculinity. Obviously, in David Lynch's entire work, but yeah, specifically in that third season, he I think is saying a lot by having half of Agent Dale Cooper be like useless. I think he's saying a lot there. Okay, so yes, will you make a video about non-conventional storytelling? I love non-conventional storytelling. Will I make a video about it? I like to make a point whenever it's brought up with a video that I'm talking about. So I don't know if I'd ever make a full video on it, but I could see it being like a huge theme in something that I work on. What is the point of your process that takes the longest? Definitely, probably writing and rewriting. We do a lot of writing and rewriting, and even by the time we get to VO, we like rewrite before we record. So yeah, and there's a process of like you write it on paper, and then you need to orotate it, which sometimes saying something is a lot different than how you pictured it in the script. So that's probably the hardest part. Which of your videos are you most proud of? I'm proud of all of them. I'm proud of all of them. I'm proud of all of them, Mom. I loved the cats one just because it was so fun and we got to do so many fun things and incorporate so many friends. So that one was really fun. But yeah, but I like all of them. I like the Films and Conversation series just because these, I mean, I think I already said this, but that series is really an excuse to like talk about specific movies by pairing them with something that's a little more well known. Just because there's a lot of movies that we watch that are not widely available, so they haven't been seen by a lot of people. Yeah, so being able to pair like smaller films with something that more people have heard of is a fun thing to do. Thank you so much. Simitali, what is your favorite musical moment in a non-musical movie? That's a great question. Man, I love musical things and non-musical things. I can only think of, I keep thinking of the Repo, the Genetic Opera. I guess it's so non-musical because it's so like abrasive. Man, that's a great question. Well-timed musical moments in any movie will get me. Man, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but in 500 Days of Summer, when Making My Dreams Come True, what a great sequence that is. That movie as a whole is whatever. It's been highly talked about, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt has also been like, yeah, I was the bad guy the whole time, didn't you know? It's like, did anyone know? I don't know. But that moment is fucking great, and the kind of whimsy that I just enjoy. Oh no. My phone thinks I'm talking to it. I'm not. Are you a Trek person? And if so, do you like the new Star Trek? Am I a Trek person? I really like Star Trek. I've seen a good chunk of, many of the different iterations. One of my best friends is a huge Star Trek fan. She loves Trek. So we always watch Star Trek together. I'll go over her house and that's our girl nights, is we'll watch Star Trek and talk about philosophy. So yes, I really like Star Trek. Do I like the new Star Trek? I mean, some things are great. Some things are like, I mean, I think, I don't know. I haven't seen like the Lower Deck thing, and I haven't seen Picard. So yeah, I haven't sought that media out, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, what's your favorite part about collaborating? Oh man, I mean, just everyone that I collaborate with, I just have so much like respect for, and so much like, when I'm feeling in a creative rut, like their videos are the ones who inspire me or get me out of it, and they're what I watch. So to have them come, and add their 2 cents, or, add their thoughts to something that I'm talking about is just the best. I love it. I said this earlier, but the thing I like about movies is that it brings people together, and as corny as that sounds, it's the truth of it. So, yeah, and that same goes with video essays. Same goes with people who are in the industry, people who are, passionate about their creative work. So, I mean, that's one of the most exciting things about being, like, in the industry or whatever, is just being around people who are so talented and kind and creative, and just, like, as an artist, know what they want to say, or, are speaking to, looking at that. Everyone's just little geniuses running around, and it's pretty great. So yes, that goes for everything, both on YouTube and in my other work. So okay, if you can time travel back into little Zach's bedroom and take his comic books. This is really funny, but I can't read it because it cut off. Instagram, I got some bones to pick. I wouldn't change anything about anyone's movies. That's the other thing about me, like, also creating is, like, I don't really put a lot of energy into, like, how would I change other people's things, because I am too busy, creating on my own. Yeah, and I guess as a critic, I'm not so interested in, like, what would I want? What would I have done? I do think that when I'm, like, watching a movie, oh, what would I have done differently? But when I'm talking about movies, I don't think that's the most, like, interesting take on it. So did that answer a question? that answered it. Okay, how do you build community in this age of isolation? That is a great question. Let me know when you find out. Okay. I mean, being online, it's yeah. How do you build connection? I don't know. The only thing I can really say is, like, I, like, take friendship risks. I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, just be willing to, go out on a limb with people that you feel like you, like, really like, or, just people that, and I guess, I say that, you shouldn't be, like, DMing people you don't know. Don't take it like that, but, like, yeah, opening yourself up to the possibility of meeting people, in places and situations that you don't expect. Being open is really hard to do. I think it's underrated, and I think that you kind of have to just be, like, conscious of. And, like, when you're feeling lonely, the first thing you do is kind of, like, to, like, the outside world, myself included, like, just hiding under a blanket all day. I wear a lot of hats, and a lot of that is, like, me sadly deleting my DM to Maggie. But yeah, like cozy and comfy, and, like, other people are hard, and other people, like, there's all these things to get to before we understand each other, and, like, that's hard, and, like, what if I'm trying to be friends with a person, but, like, there's a lot of that, but the most important, having friends overrides all of that. So I guess that's my 2 cents. Thank you so much, B1 Miro. Thank you so much. Does Maggie May fish? I do fish, and I have fished. My dad fishes. My whole family. My uncle has, like, actually, I don't think he has it anymore. He had a boat growing up. We lived on Lake Michigan, so, like, yeah, I like fish. I love, like, oh man, if I was loaded, I would just be snorkeling all of the time, which is, oh man, that's one of the reasons I made the octopus t-shirt, was like, if I could. Yeah, I love being underwater. It's my favorite place to be, hands down. So that is a fun thing about my last name, is that it also speaks to how much I love being underwater. Thank you so much, Brian. Are there any political podcasts that you might be interested in participating in? I would absolutely. I don't listen to a lot of political podcasts per se, because I just feel like my life is full of I consume it all day in many different forms. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would consider Behind the Bastards, like, I guess, political. I love going on there. So, thank you so much, H. Simansky. Which newer movies' VFX utilization do you find particularly impressive? Oh, that's a fun question. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen VFX. The horror movie on Hulu, what was it called? Bad Hair? I think it was called Bad Hair. That had great VFX. I'm a huge fan of VFX that utilize, like, practicalness as much as possible. That had good VFX. All I can think of is bad VFX. I'm just having flashbacks to Sonic. So anything other than Sonic was great. Okay. AP Kissler said, thank you so much. If you already answered this, what stories or media are exciting to you these days, even if they're old favorites? What's exciting? I think new things are exciting. And remakes will always be around. They always have been around, A thing I would like to see from remakes is, there was a time in the 80s when we used to take bad movies and then we remade them into good movies. And I think that's a much funner thing to do than taking already good movies and just adding more movies onto the good movie, because chances are you're not going to hit that lightning again. So why not take bad movies that could have a following, whatever, give them to up-and-coming directors, and have them make it. If I was at a production company, that would be my pitch. So, I think it's a pretty good idea. Daniel, thank you so much. Would you be concerned that you might end up auditioning for someone whose work you pooped on? I mean, yes and no. Like, the people that I choose to, focus on are not people that definitely not people that, like, on a daily basis I am auditioning for whatsoever. And a lot of stuff that I like, I don't talk about it besides on Twitter, being like, this, show is great, this is great. But that is one thing, I mostly audition for comedies, and, like, grounded comedies all the way to, like, multicam. So luckily, because I'm viewed as, like, a actor, comedian, no one's really putting me under, like, a harsh magnifying glass. But yeah, for the most part, the people that I work with love my work. So yeah. The thing is, like, being vocal about what you like also brings people who like what you like to you. So yeah. Don't be afraid about being vocal, friends. So nah, that doesn't really happen. What movies do you like but other people find annoying? That's not what he said, but again, they cut off the question. What movies do you like, movies and TV, do you like that other people don't like? I don't know if this isn't really like a particular movie, but movies that don't have plots, I love movies that don't have plots. I do not need my movie to have a plot, and yeah, people vehemently disagree with that, which I completely understand. But yeah, personally, if it's there, great, but I don't need it for my movie, really. Connor Nielsen, thank you so much. What are some of your favorite silent films? I watched F.W. Morano's Sunrise, loved it, and wanted to see more silent cinema. That's awesome. The only silent cinema I've seen is through, like, academia. I don't know if I've ever sat and watched a silent movie. So I don't know if I have an answer for you. I mean, I like all silent cinema. I like the silent cinema aesthetic. Oh, Okay, great. Will has a great account to follow. It's called, what is it called? Movies Silently on Twitter. That Will follows. That has a lot about silent movies. So if you're interested, pop on over there. Yeah, I love the history of cinema, but yeah, I've never like sat down and watched it. Okay, this person asked, is the cat your parent or your child? Definitely the child. These two babies are babies. Lewis. Oh, Lewis is looking at a bird right now. Yeah, every morning Lewis sits outside our hallway door and does that for until we wake up. So they're the baby. I'm not the baby. They're the baby. Okay. Is that cat single? Asking for a pet. It's a brother and sister duo. Murphy's the bigger of the two and the older. So yeah, they're free. Ready to mingle. Ryan says, in my last year of undergrad and writing my dissertation about Gone Girl being a gothic book. Ooh, have you ever seen the movie? I have seen the movie and I did not read the book. But that's an interesting take. It does have very gothy vibes. Yeah, women running away to be alone. Very, very, very gothy. Hello, Christian. Christian Ramirez is in the chat. Hello. How do you stay motivated? Oh, how did you stay motivated after high school? Okay. How did I stay motivated after high school? Oh my god, my phone just thinks I'm asking it questions. Stop it. How did I stay motivated after high school? Well, I went to college. And college was the first time that I got to study what I wanted to study. I was a theater major, film studies minor, and a creative writing minor. So in that regard, it was really easy to stay interested because it was like I was finally learning things that I cared about after, sitting in AP anatomy and memorizing bones while going to the midnight premiere of Twilight. Like, that's the thing that I was very happy to leave behind. And I actually got into college early, so I had a lot of downtime my senior year, and it was great to, finally just get to take classes that were things that I actually wanted to learn. So, thank you so much, Lob. Do you like Cocteau Twins? Cocteau Twins, what are they? Oh, it's a band? Ah, man. I don't know if I've heard any of this stuff. I don't know if I like them. Maybe? If you like them, I like them. And we're friends. If you're cool, then I'm cool, and then I like them. What are your thoughts on Michael Franco's latest? Michael Franco. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much. And shit, have you ever heard from any creator after your video on them or their work? I've heard from people that I respect and admire. I'm trying to think if I heard of anyone specifically from someone that I've covered. Not really. Some directors that I tweet about, will message me. But no, I don't think anyone specifically. Yeah, David Lynch did not ring my number. Thank you so much, James. Movies without plots are fantastic. If I enjoy the director's vision, yes. Like I could live in a David Finch film for yes. When there's no plot, there needs to be something else driving it. And if there's not, then then you're just. But yes, I think that's a big key. If the plot is missing, there needs to be something else going on. If you could duel one dead U.S. president, who would it be? Oh, this is a question for Daniel. This is not a question for me. Who would I fight? Fucking, I would take them all down. I'd take them all down. I'd fight every single one of them. Yeah, I'd punch every single one of them deserves a large punch in the face for something they've done. Thank you, AP. Recommendation for a bad film that is hilariously entertaining and enjoyable. Airplane versus Volcano. Ooh, I haven't seen that one. Yeah, I would say Pompeii is that is a bad film. That is pretty hilarious and fun. Fun to watch in a group. Sorry, I gotta take a. Thank you so much, Adam. You do good things. Aw, thank you so much. That's all I have to say. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh, thank you. There are other bad movies that I love. Oh man, there is one. It was on. I don't even know if you can get it anywhere besides this one app. What's it called? Chain of Souls is the movie. And it's pretty hard to find because it's bad, but it is so funny. It's so funny. That's a movie I could watch happily. Adam Ganser asked me, "Who is the real cat?" And it's me. It's me. I'm the real cat. Ryan, hello. You mentioned on the Christmas vlog that you don't watch the sort of videos you make. Does that mean you don't watch Lindsay Elson? Trying to think what I meant by that. Because I watch pretty much anyone that I've had on or that I've guested for. I probably watch all of their videos. I'm kind of a glutton when it comes to content. I was like, The Court Jester, how many perfect movies are there? That movie's pretty perfect, Brian. I do like that a lot. My email signature has Court Jester in the bottom. Trying to remember if there's anything else. Thank you, Scout. Hey, I recommended your Fight Club video to a friend who who is an intro to Fincher criticism. Oh, that's fun. Do you have a fave Fincher film? Let's look up his. Let's see. Which one's my favorite? The Game is fun. I like The Game. The Game starring Michael Douglas. That might be my favorite. Oh, looks like Chain of Souls on YouTube. Okay. Oh, okay. What commented that for me? Great. It's on YouTube, you guys. The gift that keeps on giving and taketh awaying. YouTube. Okay, I'll go back to so it is on YouTube. What's a mistake that you've learned to avoid? What's a mistake I've learned to avoid? Sometimes I'll think something is obvious and it's not. So I've learned to the degree which I should over-explain, I think. That makes sense. That's a really hard balance to strike when you're making a video. So. Sam says, I frequently recommended following your cat's video with Lindsay Alice's. Yes, I could not agree more. Those two go hand in hand. It was so funny because when we both said we were doing cat videos, I emailed her just to check what we were covering, and it was like perfectly. I was coming right up into the movie, and Lindsay was coming from the movie and on, and it was like, this is wonderful. So, yeah, they fit together well. Okay, so yeah, that's a mistake I've learned. Will there be a big film trend of the Biden presidency? That's interesting. I mean, I assume so. There's a lot of monster movies coming out, which would have been written during the Trump administration, so those will all be really interesting to see. Because, yeah, it really felt like we were battling a kaiju, and currently are. So, that's a fun trend, but yeah, I'm sure we'll see more, and I can, for the record, attest that the Trump administration was not fun for artists. So, you know, looking forward to something a little different. Okay, what are you listening to at the moment? That's That's a great question. I can pull up my Spotify. I'm listening to a lot of disco. I have a playlist that is called Disky because my phone autocorrected disco to disky and I didn't know how to fix it, so we're stuck. And yeah, I've got a lot of Bee Gees, Blondie, ABBA, Carly Rae Jepsen, Talking Heads, David Bowie, Queen. I mean, that's kind of like a standard. I'm trying to think of any albums I've listened to. I've listened to a lot of new albums actually. So, yeah, all the new stuff too. I like keeping up to date on music. Dennis, thank you so much. Is it wrong that you're dressing up as a car? Oh, it's a cat. Oh, okay, something at me. I mean, people are, people are deeply complicated, and interesting and unique. So, all I can say is run towards yourself, my friend, whatever yourself may be. What's a topic that you've always wanted to tackle but haven't had a good reason to? It's a great question. Something that I wanted to tackle. I mean, honestly, probably more just like female-centric films. I've covered a lot of I cover a lot of the films that when you're going through film school, people will show you. So, and that happens to be very, like a male-centric discography. So, yeah, I will probably, especially with my films and conversation, I'll be able to showcase more movies that don't follow those trends. So, yeah, I guess it's really, yeah, there's nothing that I like. It's usually, the things that I cover are usually inspired by the movies themselves, if that makes sense. So... Would you at some point do a movie analysis / rating of The Lighthouse? I do love The Lighthouse. But it's, in a way, to me the movie is in a way very simple, and I like how simple it is. We have a dog downstairs, so if you hear a dog barking, that'd be him. So I also don't know if I want to, not that analyzing something would ruin it. I don't think that's the right word, but it's I almost don't want to analyze it because I like it so much. Although that's not a good answer because it's I like covering things that I like too. So I would definitely do it in the future. I would probably do it with the films and conversation, and I would probably pair it with something else. I think just to mine a little bit more out of it. Caleb, thank you so much. What are some of your favorite science fiction fantasy authors right now? Excluding the obvious answer of Lindsay Ellis. Man, I have been reading almost exclusively nonfiction for a while. So, favorite science fiction fantasy authors right now is kind of hard to answer. Yeah, I don't really. Huh. Oh, Murphy State. Taking a photo of Murphy. I don't know if I have an answer for that, really. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love to read more science fiction fantasy. We've bought a lot, and I feel like I kind of went through a sci-fi phase like a year ago. So I don't really have anything up to date. What was your least enjoyable working? Cuts off. I'm assuming he's gonna say working experience. Least enjoyable. Nothing is least I mean, I've had a job since I was 16, so it's in terms of what's least enjoyable about this, I enjoy all minutes of it. I don't think there's something that I don't enjoy about it. Probably the least fun is editing, only because I'm the least helpful. Will edits the videos, and I'd love to learn editing just to help. And I used to, when I just did sketch comedy, I could edit my own sketches, but these are so involved that it's just out of my skill set currently. So, but yeah, it's only because I can't help. What do you think of some more news? Love some more news. I watch I watch it all. It's so funny because Cody started that show right. I think right as Cracked was ending. So it was so fun to see, like early stages versus now. But yeah, it's great. It's great. Everyone should be watching it. Everyone's parents should be watching some more news. Like, I mean, it's content we like, but it's also accessible for like, people that could maybe use some info. Cereal or oatmeal? Both. I like both. What do you gotta pick? I like overnight oats. I'll make that a lot, which is, you put oatmeal, milk, frozen blueberries, sliced almonds, stick it in the fridge, and in the morning you got a nice bowl of goop that I love. So, do you have any plans to make more videos on awful Christian movies? Not currently. Again, I don't ever write anything out really. A very go with the flow kind of person as far as like the content that I make. But much like my music, I go through phases. And yeah, there's nothing. I have other things that are more exciting to me. Moving my legs because one of them fell asleep. What are my thoughts on Paddington? Asked a person. I love Paddington. The Paddington films are perfect. They are. That was, when they said that they were making a Wonka prequel, no thank you, but it is directed by the Paddington guy, so, a lot of Paddington heads are weighing in on that. So, what character would you love to write a story for? That's a great question. Oh, man. Again, like, I'm drawn to new things, so, yeah. Which no production company wants to hear that, but I would write for a whole new character. JJ Walsh says, what are your favorite YouTube content to just watch and have fun? A lot. We watch a lot of videos. We watch a lot of art videos. Pushing Up Roses has a wonderful art video. We watch all of her videos. We watch art restoration videos. Those are really relaxing. I watch makeup videos. I watch makeup videos. These are pretty much all the genres. I love videos about music. We like watching. Yeah, pretty much anything. Anything that'll teach us a little bit about a craft I am interested in. We just posted the link for Pushing Up Roses. Hi, Lewis. Lewis is joining us on the floor. Hello, how did you start out making videos? I started when I was at Cracked. Sorry, I coughed. I started when I was at Cracked. Most of the things I pitched to Cracked were either historical or film. Those were like the two categories I pitched on the most. So after Cracked ended, I needed income, and I had been working on a Beetlejuice video that I wasn't able to get in time before Cracked ended, so I made it myself, and here we are today. That's really the journey. Desperate. It's got all the makings of your favorite artist. Desperation, need for survival, a burning desire to talk about films, and and some yolks, some good old fashioned yolks. Put it in a blender. We live by really busy streets. Okay. Favorite anime? Great question. I like a lot of anime. I like a lot of anime movies because anime movies are great because it's like one and done. There's a lot of commitment that goes into anime series. But like probably favorite from just like nostalgia factors, Dragon Ball Z. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z, watching it with my brother and my dad. So probably my favorite. But I Sailor Moon. I mean, all the ones that people have seen. Captain Thornwood, thank you so much. I'm very into everything you're doing channel. I just started to reread Book Club for Lord of the Rings. Ooh. I have a very important question. What is your least favorite board or card game? Ooh, man. It's my least favorite. There are some that I do not like. What's my least favorite? It's a hard question. Anything that just is too number heavy is not interesting to me. Ugh. like Uno is like fun. I like playing on Groots, but anything that's like centered around numbers, can take or leave. I'd much rather someone like write, like a story that I need to. I need my games to have like a story for me to be invested. Amos here, thank you so much. Oscar here. Oh, Oscar. Hello, Oscar. Okay, because my username is weird. Great. Hi, Oscar. Love your work. Any anime movie series that you'd like to make a video on? Probably. I mean, one that we've batted around doing something on is Perfect Blue. That's it's up there, one of my top favorite anime movies. And I would probably do a Films and Conversation. I just haven't picked what I would talk about it. Part of me wants to do that in Inception, just because, like... Paprika? Oh, is that the one? Oh, yeah, Paprika. Yeah, so, I don't know. I could definitely see myself doing something on that in the future. Peter, thank you so much. How long did it take to create your cat's costume? The costume, not very long. The costume I bought from Etsy, so that was pretty easy. The makeup did take like an hour and a half, an hour. We have it on a video we took that we sped up. I think it was like a full hour. Oh, I just saw Flash is dead. They should make They should remake a new Flash Gordon movie. Absolutely, that is the one remake I will allow. I will allow Flash Gordon, and it better be as bonkers as the original. I don't want a single thing of that missed. Is pizza a vegetable? Yes, it's also a breakfast food and dinner, and everything in between. I love pizza. Can our cats all be friends? Absolutely, our cats can all be friends. Thank you so much, SSK286. Thoughts on Quentin Tarantino? Well, I am planning to do a video on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. So I think you'll get a lot of my Tarantino takes. I like a lot of his work. Some of his work is just like kind of boring. But I mean, that's the same with like any filmmaker that is that, Abe! Aw, hi Abe. Hi, we should play video games and talk about a project soon. Great. Hi Abe. I'll play video games with you anytime. Abe, what games do you want to play together? That's the question. You know so much more about games than me. There's a game coming out though that I'm excited for, but I kind of forgot what it's called. What do you think of Greta Gerwig's movies? I haven't seen Little Women yet. But I've heard it's really great. I'm sure I would like it. I like Greta. She, I'm still like I'm excited for her to make something that, I guess really like blows me away. But yeah, I'm excited for Little Women, and I haven't seen it yet, which makes me a bad feminist. I'm kidding. Not a question, just saying you're awesome. Oh, thank you. Will the suffering ever end? Is a question that I got. No. But the older you get, I hope we can all find small ways to be happy. Sometimes I think about, like, yes, the world is a terrible place, but sun is still a tangible thing that is shining. So it's, our job to find the little peaks of sunshine poking through the clouds. And it's more beneficial to focus on, the possibilities than the weight of the reality. SSK286, are we already dead? That is a solid theory, my friend, that we should not discount. Uh, can your snake please feature in more videos? Yes. Yes. Duck can. We just fed Duck yesterday. Duck is their full grown size for the rest of their life, so that's kind of exciting. Let's see. How is Snake? Snake is great. The only reason we don't see him is because we keep the snake in our bedroom now, and the cats we keep out here, just because, you know, cats and snakes don't mix. So, yeah. But I like having him in the bedroom, because, you know, he's like, you know, he doesn't need as much room. Maggie, do you remember your old Tony Loren parody channel? Do I remember? Of course. It's funny as hell. Thank you. Yeah, I had so much fun working on that. All the women who were in our like little writers group, who wrote them with me, I love them all dearly. And they're all funny as hell. So yeah. How do you decide what you're gonna do? How do you decide? Really just like a feeling, man. Yeah. Well, this channel runs on vibes, and vibes only. All of my planning is vibes. Yeah, that's the truth, the answer for you. I just feel it. I feel what I want to do next. What is your favorite cult TV show and why? What would you guys consider like cult TV shows? Like, that's a great question, but I don't know like what I would consider a cult TV show. Capital Hood, hello. Do you and Abe have a secret handshake? Can I have it? You can have both of our hands. We will send them to you. Give me your P.O. box in the chat. Take yours off first, Abe. Hello. Has anyone ever told you that you remind them of Anne Hathaway? Probably. I mentioned this earlier, that a lot of people have compared me to a lot of other people. So probably. Oh, no, well, oh, thank you again. Another question. Writing advice. How do you make your characters flawed yet sympathetic? Flawed yet sympathetic? I mean, well, everyone is flawed. So, I like writing from things, you know, in real life. When I create characters that I write, they're usually a mishmash of people that I know, my friends, you know, yeah, real people. So, and people that I love, who, you know, and we're all flawed. So, I don't know. I guess it's more like, how do you simulate reality in a way that is entertaining to a story? I think that's like an interesting question. It's like, how do you portray things that you know, see in real life, and fit them into, you know, like a narrative that will be fun for readers. So yeah, just pulling from real life. Lowell, thank you again. Have you taken the Myers-Briggs? If yes, what is your type? I have in the past, and I honestly could not tell you what I got. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like every young girl goes through a phase when, yeah, well, it's, you know, when you're trying to figure yourself out, it's like, I will take 1,000 quizzes until a magazine tells me what my personality is, you know, like, yeah, and I don't know, and I don't keep up. And also, like, you know, as accurate as those things are, you know, people change all the time. I guess you are supposed to take it more often. I'm guessing Maggie was an extrovert while I was writing. Actually, I don't think I was. At least the last time I took it. The last time I took it was maybe in high school. Actually, no, I can't remember. Connor said, I've been told I look like Jimmy Fallon in the past. Totally killed my mood. Yeah, it's always, you know, this is dangerous territory. Some of these questions, if I didn't read your question, I'm sorry. It is purely because Instagram cut off your question. I can't speak to it. you've mentioned the 2006 Silent Hill film. Did I? I've seen it. I don't remember what I said about it. I love the Silent Hill franchise. I love the Silent Hill franchise, and I love the Resident Evil franchise. I think they're fun as hell. Video games. The movies are hit or miss, but like, comes to the territory, I think that's fine. But I would love to see a Silent Hill movie. Oh yeah, they are making a Resident Evil franchise. That's exciting. I don't think they started shooting yet though. So, but yeah, I'm excited about that. Oh man, I just had the thought of cookies. Cookies sound really good. What is your favorite thing to play in Dungeons and Dragons? I've played a variety of characters. I don't know if I have a favorite. My favorite is always going to be something different. So, like, I played a game where I was a dragon, and so the next time I chose, I've done a ranger a couple times. Last time I did choose something magical because I hardly ever choose magical characters. And yeah, and also D&D, there are things that I like about it. There are things that I don't love about it. Yeah, I do like. I mean, playing with friends is super fun. Captain Third Hood, Abe, if I ask you what your favorite thing about Maggie is, what would be the first thing that comes to mind? See you in the chat. I mean, I'm specifically thinking of Abe and I having so much fun playing D&D together with Gainfully Unemployed. That is my peak D&D favorite type of experience. What's your favorite Pokemon? Oh, I have so many. Oh, but probably my favorite is Ditto. The hat that I posted yesterday is a hat of Ditto that my brother got for me that I love and I wear a lot. So Ditto's my favorite. Because Ditto can change into anything. She's a shapeshifter. You know. I like being able to change things. So, there you go. Are the first 3 episodes of WandaVision really good? I haven't seen it yet. Sorry. So I can't give an opinion. But it sounds really exciting. Thank goodness they're doing something different. And I love film history. The things that they're doing, like I'm a huge like film or TV history nerd. So, I like what they're doing. Thank you, Lowell. Favorite Star Wars movie and character. You don't have to apologize for asking a question. This is what it's for. Favorite Star Wars movie and character. Favorite movie. Man. I never like pick a favorite because it's like, especially with, everything is so big now. Like pick a favorite Marvel movie. It's like it's a whole universe, you know. It's like it's a whole and like they, you know, it's immersive. So I don't know if I like have a favorite Star Wars movie. I liked Rogue One. I know that was, some people don't love it. I really liked that one. But my favorite character, probably Leia. Probably Leia. Yeah, the more I think about it, it's just Leia. It's my simple answer. Hardest video you've made? Oh man. Probably the Zack Snyder, only because it's like, you know, I wanted to put in as much work as a 4-hour movie would to make, so I hope I did that. Aw, Abe. Aw, Abe. Well, Abe's also just as warm as me, so, you know, it's true. I do like people. I like people. I like groups. I like being in groups. I like people working together. These are all the lame things that I believe in. Does Pulp's Like a Friend still hold up today? Is that a song? I don't know, my friend. I don't know. If given an absurdly big budget, what film would you like to make? I assume that goes on to say to make. I don't know. I think if I had an opportunity to make a film, I would probably make a film for, like, a film for kid. Like, you know, I don't believe any film is purely for, like, this segregation of people. But yeah, I'd probably do something along the, like, Spielberg route of doing something that's, you know, I really like kids, and kids really like me, so I feel like, as, you know, if I got a bunch of money to do a movie, that's probably the route that I would go. I would make something for kids to enjoy. But it's still really cool. When I was a kid, I felt like a lot of the movies that were made for me were like, you're a kid, don't you know you're a kid? And it's like, yeah, I know I'm a kid. Is that part of your movie? So, I would make a movie for, for a kid like that. Favorite movie monster? Connor asks. I always liked anything swamp related, so like Creature from the Black Lagoon, anything that lives underwater, Fishmen, Godzilla, Loch Ness Monster I was obsessed with when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, Lil says, you met Carrie Fisher. I told her I wanted to marry later. She drew a wedding ring on my finger. Oh my god, that's so cool. That's a great story. Yeah, I love Carrie Fisher. She's great. Oh man, this one was a question, but it cuts off right before the question. So, okay, moving on to the next page. What was your major in college? Did it hurt or help? I already touched on this, but I was a theater major, film studies minor, and creative writing minor. So, yeah, did it help? Absolutely. I love what I studied. It's also, what I do today. Bye, Abe. Aw. They play music together. Okay. How do you dodge the haters and keep going? Seems like it's hard to do these days. Man, I feel you. I don't know. I feel, I think most kids can relate to, when you're growing up, it's kind of like the first time that, at least for, like a portion of the population, it's the first time where it's like, oh man, I really have to learn how to deal with people that don't like me for no reason. Yeah, I don't know. You kind of just like, I think everyone develops their own ways of dealing with it. But I over a long and hard process, I have built a very steady and like sturdy self-confidence that I have built. I was not made this way. So yeah, and it just takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of like self-reflection. Yeah, and not to say that I don't have like terrible days or like days where things like don't get to me, not at all. But yeah, I just know like at my core, like I know who I am, and so yeah, that really helps. Yeah, and like continually making the time to like, make sure that I, as a person, human being, am doing okay, because it, helps me be more creative. It helps me, in every aspect of my life if I, am just checking in with myself and making sure that I'm, I'm doing okay and I have all the things that I need emotions-wise, and then having that, like, just helps me deal with the shittier shit. Lowell, thank you. Are you Team Kong or Team Godzilla? Obviously Team Godzilla. I don't even know why King Kong is there. I mean, he can show up, I guess, if he wants, but I don't see what he's going to bring to the table. Godzilla all day, every day. If Godzilla killed me, I'd be like, thank you. Thank you, Shin Godzilla. Great. Thank you, James. Have you experienced any of Any of Neil Breen's movies, absolutely. Yeah, so Terrible is Transcended. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We're tossing around an idea of doing a films and conversation with Neil Breen and David Lynch, which will be very fun. We haven't really ironed out the logistics, but it's on the table. Thank you so much, Amro Scare 1988. Have you ever been on the Bechtelcast? I feel like you have, but I could be wrong. I have. I did the live show with Jamie and Caitlin. We did Edward Scissorhands, and it was really fun. It's a live show. I think we did probably like a year and a half, maybe like 2 years. Yeah, it was a while ago. But it was super fun. So check it out if you haven't. What is your favorite book? I have a lot of favorite books, but my usual answer is 100 Years of Solitude. I love that book. I love magical realism. Yeah. It's fun. It reads like a dream, and I love that about it. It's very much, some people read it, and I have some people who have read it upon my request and like it, but don't necessarily click with it. It doesn't, and again, it doesn't really have like a story. Like the story is kind of like the way that it's being told, which is the reason that I really like it, but also the reason that it's not an easy movie or book to just like sit down and read. But I love it, and also a lot of the characters have the same name, which is very confusing. But also the characters are also like commenting on each other, and it's about like the cyclical nature of things. So like it's also okay if like you mix up characters. So that's part of the other reason like when people read it, it's like don't be hard on yourself also when you're reading it, because the things that are hard about it are also kind of like part of the story. So anyways, I'm a slow reader. When I heard the title 100 Years of Solitude, I was out immediately. Yeah, it's my favorite book though, so at least one of them. How are you? I'm doing good. I missing my friends. My apartment, I spent a lot of time, making this apartment nice to be in, because we're in it all of the time. But it is nice, and I like being here. Unicorn or Pegasus? Good question. Pegasus, because she could fly. She could fly. It is a joyful book. It is good. Yeah, 100 Years of Solitude, yes. The name is very but the overall yeah, it's I really like it. What's the common denominator that inspires you to make, and it gets cut off, so I don't know. Whoops, that was a friend. What's the common denominator? I don't know if there's a common denominator other than I don't know. I feel like my viewers would probably have a better insight than I into like themes of my work. It's always easier for like an outside perspective. I don't know. I guess things that are emotionally impactful. I guess I do talk a lot about like emotions. Yeah. I mean, I'm an actor, so that's my in for a lot of films is like the performance and the motion, the emotion. So, yeah, I guess that would be my through line. Were you ever into Dark Crystal? Yeah. Just a heads up, we're gonna wrap up in about like 5 to 10 minutes. I did not watch Dark Crystal when I was younger. I watched it probably actually for the first time maybe like 3 years ago, and maybe 2 years ago. I absolutely loved it. I was surprised that I hadn't seen it before. I'd seen almost all of Jim Henson's things besides that, and actually The Labyrinth was another one that I saw like more recently than from when I was younger. I love it. It's great. I would love to have movies like that, like full like puppet movies. Jamie Loftus asked me, "How warm is the star?" The stars are getting warm. Oh man. If you guys haven't seen our first episode of sscc yet, please go watch and subscribe. You will not be disappointed. I'm so excited to do that series, that show. So, hope you guys like it. Do you think that the Hobbit trilogy, as is, could be re-edited? I have heard that it has been re-edited. I have not seen it, but I heard there is a version that has been re-edited by fans that is supposed to be sublime. So I do want to watch it. Lowell, thank you so much. Favorite Jack Black movie? Oh man. That's your mind. As an ENFP, I relate to those types of characters a lot. I gotta say, probably the classic. My favorite is School of Rock. What a great movie. That's the type, like when I say like a kid's movie, like that's the type of movie I would, not that movie, but like that, something for that genre of kid. Yeah, I love, it's a classic. It's a classic. Do you do whiskey, scotch, or bourbon? I don't really drink that much. My favorite, if I do drink, my favorite drink of choice is probably like a cider, if I'm being honest. But if I had to choose between one of those, probably a bourbon or a whiskey. When it comes to like that kind of alcohol, I just take what other people give me. I don't know. What would be your dream book to make into a movie? There's probably more than one, but one that I've always thought would be really fun is, did you guys ever, it's a book called At the Back of the North Wind. It's like, I think it was published in England, like as a, like a serial kids, like publication, that got turned into a book. And I read it when I was a kid and I loved it. It has this kind of like timeless feel to it. Like when you're a kid reading it, you're like conscious that it was written for kids, like a long time in the past. It's, like a way it's very dated, but something about it just is very like ethereal and universal. It's about this like poor kid who makes friends with the North Wind, which is like this big like wind lady who would come into his room and just like take him off on adventures. But the point of the book is like the wind lady she's not good or bad, she just is like she'll make a huge storm that will like rip up a farm, and the little kid will be like, why did you do that? And she's like, I didn't choose it, I'm just the wind. And it's kind of about accepting things that you don't have control over that I always really liked. So I think it would be cool to find like a modern way to adapt that into a story. Yeah, so that would be one effect, and I'm pretty sure that it's under fair use, so ding ding ding. But I do really I like that book a lot, and I liked it as a kid, and as an adult I like the themes of it. So yeah, and it felt very like it was very, I liked movies like, or things like that when I was a kid that like seemed really dark but really was just like adults being more honest about what the world was like. So for that reason I always really liked it. Oh man, my voice is leaving me, so we are gonna have to wrap up soon. But yeah, that was all the questions from Instagram, and I got all of them from Patreon. Yes, so I will plug my links again. If you haven't subscribed or watched sscc, I would so encourage you to go watch and check that out. I cannot wait to give you more episodes of that. I love working with Jamie. She is the friggin' best, and it's so fun to work together. So yeah, I feel like it comes across in the in the product. But yeah, I'm really excited to do more for that. So make sure you check that out. My podcast is on Small Beans. Aaron Burser. It's been a pleasure watching you and yours grow through the content the past years. What is your proudest moment so far? Man, I don't take enough time to be proud of myself really as I should. But I mean, I'm proud right now. I'm proud talking to you guys. I'm proud that people, like the stuff that I create and people respond to it. And I like that, I like it a lot. I think a lot of creators, their whole life hope to make things that resonate with other people. So that's all you can really ask for, I think. So yeah, I feel proud about that. So my podcast with Adam is on the Small Beans Network. It's called I'll Show You Mine If You Show Me Yours. And it's really fun. It's very off the cuff. We don't plan anything for it. And our podcasts go on for a very long time. It's an hour and a half of us talking. So if that's your speed, you can go check it out. Is there anything else I should plug? Those are the main things. You guys can follow me on Instagram. I've been trying to. I post cat pictures on Instagram a lot. So if you like my cats, you can follow me there. It's just my name again. So yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh yeah, posting my Insta. But yeah, I'm excited about this upcoming year. I'm excited about the videos that, we have coming up. Yeah, I think this will be a very fun, weird transition year. I think for many people in their lives. So we'll see what comes of that. All right. I think that's pretty much it, guys. But thank you so much for coming to this Q&A. Thank you for watching. I am immensely grateful and lucky, and I just hope that I keep making stuff that you guys like. Keeps our brains a ticking. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. I feel like I should get the cats in here one more time. I'll pick up Lewis and we'll say bye. My cats are the type of cats that when you pick them up, they purr kind of immediately. Hi, little baby. Oh, stretchy. She's taking a nap. This is what we do with our cats. We just hold them like little babies and talk to them like this. What do you think, kitty? You guys pay for his food with all of your views. Yeah. It's probably good. Isn't he so sweet? Man, when I first got these babies, the first thing I do is I'm gonna pick them up every day, so that they like being picked up. And here we are. He's sleeping. Murphy is somewhere. I don't know. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll sign off. What do you think, baby? Say bye.